It's a special day today. We're going to go and visit the Triumph factory. So Lord David, or Dave, very kindly set up a visit for 4 of us, a VIP visit to the Triumph factory at Hinckley. And there's Dave, Colin, myself and Martin. Martin owns Bike Trends. So we're going to have a really good day, hopefully. The last time I was at the Triumph factory was in 1996, and I bought myself one of the early Blore Triumphs. It was a 900 Trident, and I bought it from Art Dean's, and they arranged a factory visit, when it was all new, it was all brand new, and that was 28 years ago. So yeah, time flies past. But the Triumph, I remember they were over-engineered. They were a really good quality machine. I think Blore obviously didn't want any bad publicity, you know, regarding the old Meriden Triumphs. So they did have a few issues, and they weren't known for their reliability. So Blore basically wanted to make sure that these things were going to take off. The relaunch of Triumph, they were going to take off, and they were going to be bulletproof basically. And those engines, I think they called them the T3 engines, they were bulletproof, and a lovely bike it was. A bit of history behind Triumph, or the Blore Triumphs, the Hinckley Triumphs. He was a property developer, and he acquired the old Meriden site, the old Triumph factory site, and he had a building company basically, and he used to build houses, and he acquired the site to build a load of houses on, and along with that site came a piece of paper with the name Triumph. He had the rights to the name Triumph, so Triumph motorcycles. So it'd be really interesting to have a look at how the factory is today. And I do believe an old friend of mine, Ken Vira, he gave me a few pointers and told me that this is the one we're going to be seeing today is actually called Factory 3. So obviously in 1996 I visited Factory 1, so and that was amazing to look at. There were the CNC machines and mills, engine production. It was fantastic. The relaunch of a British mark. Well, here we are. Just arrived at the Triumph factory, the visitor experience. And we've got little motorcycle bays, look. And we've got a car park full of Triumphs. Well, it's a Honda. I know there's definitely a couple of Suzukis. Right then, well here we are. We've arrived at the Triumph factory, the Triumph visitor experience. And there's the gang.
Morning.
David.
Hello.
Colin.
Morning there, Dickie.
And Martin.
Morning.
Now me and Martin are Team Suzuki. There you go. And then Colin is on his Tiger, and David's on his Rocket 3. So there you go. But we're going to have a little look around this this factory, aren't we, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks a lot for coming along, guys. I really appreciate
thanks for
it.
inviting
thank you for
me.
inviting us, sir.
No, it's not a problem.
Brilliant,
So,
very kind of you.
We are on the VIP tour,
Wow.
which means there's only 4 of us on it with our own personal guide. But before we go on it, we're going to be having breakfast on Triumph.
Sounds good to me.
So,
Baps and bikers.
Bats and bikers. That's a really, yeah, okay then. Anyway,
Babes and bikers.
oh right, sorry,
You forgot that.
So,
We're going to have a look then.
let's go on in
All right.
and get some food.
All right, can we?
Welcome to Triumph Factory Visitor Experience. There you go. Oh, quite. How'd you do?
Pleased to meet you.
Sorry,
So as I say, we'll have a great day, I'm sure. So the way I normally play it is I'm chicken, then we start with a drink and perhaps a breakfast. Yes. A breakfast. That's all we've come for. Just a breakfast.
The bikes are fueled up. How we need
Yeah, no, that's absolutely. So that's cool. And then we'll have a look around some of the exhibition, have a look at the bloodline and sports bikes and some of the film bikes. And I thought we'd have a wander around the factory and explain what goes on behind the scenes. And then we'll finish off with a little bit more about design and development and the range of bikes. And probably fit another coffee or something. There you go, that works for me.
And then they talk us into buying a new bike.
As I say, there's no time limit. We're here to have a great day. And it's really good. No, absolutely welcome.
Well, this was a present from my 3 daughters for birthday and Christmas.
Well,
because
there
I'm
you go.
getting all jobs on their houses.
Merry Christmas.
have a wander around now. Just sat and had a coffee. And, there's the old bike park out there. Oh, we're going into some kind of museum.
So we were opened just over 6 years ago by Prince William, and we painted him a tan cup around that. And go on Sons of Monarchy around the factory there. So we said, well, when he's ready to part with some money and buy one, we've saved a tank for him, and he's ready. And then next to it, there's a guy called Dick Shepherd who's probably got the most comprehensive range of bikes in the world of Triumphs. And many of the bikes on display belong to Dick. We thought it was a tribute and a thank you to
I believe that Steve McQueen Triumph is here.
Indeed, it may well be. We may well find that as we wander around.
The fuel tank they did for Duke of Cambridge. There we go. And then there's a tank they've done in homage to Dick Shepherd, who's got a really big Triumph collection. So, I think he owns Steve McQueen's bike. Steve McQueen's Triumph, famous Triumph. Well, there's an awful lot of Triumphs in here.
So this is the prototype bike built in 1901.
See, a lot of this collection you can see here is owned by Dick Shepherd, and he's quite a well-known Triumph guru. He restores Triumphs, loves Triumphs, and I do believe that he owns, or is purported to own, the Steve McQueen's Triumph. But here's the older Triumphs, 1947. It's quite interesting squared off barrels on there. I've seen one of them before. And then these are the ones that I can recognise. There's your Thunderbird. My dad had a Speed Twin, which is probably similar to that. Has it got a sprung up on it? I think that's ridge. Yeah, I think that is sprung up. I don't know. Here we go. Oh, that's the bathtub design on there. It's a 5TA speed twin. There we go. Like I say, our dad's was sprung up. There's a Tiger Trail, which is quite a rare bike. Now, we saw one of those. I saw one of those on Friday. It's a classic bike race. Somebody just chipped up on one. Now we're coming into the speed triple. Now that's the engine I had in my bike. I think they call it the 3T engine, or T3 engine, sorry. Does it say on there? But yeah, 94 that is. And then there's the big 1200. No, that's a night. No, that's the Daytona 900. Super 3. That was the quick one. They also did a 4-cylinder version of that, I think. And then we get to the more modern, what at the time were more modern, and I do believe those frames, they used aircraft technology and they used glue on them as well. There was some sort of aircraft glue involved in it, but I can't exactly remember what. So that's the P1 prototype that we're looking at, the blue and silver one, and that's a Bonneville, basically with a 3-cylinder engine put in there, Trident engine.
So you ain't going to throw
and if you can look at the exhausts,
how do you grow the business?
There's only 2 exhausts on the outer cylinders, and I think that the middle one, the middle cylinder, is the exhaust port goes into a crossover tube.
The Japanese have got involved in the
I've
market.
never seen a Triumph mode there.
They only ever did 2 of them.
The NVT Easy Riders.
I'll tell you what it is. You bought this bike at
Now that's an interesting one.
So this was to try and capture the French market, because the Japanese hadn't got the momentum in that market because it's been quite a rural country, and we thought this might help, but it was too little too late. It just came down. And then the shutters came down. That's the end of Triumph. John Bloor buys the land as a property developer, and as, in that conversation, the offer of buying the name and the rights to it were there. So
yeah, I sort of got that right then earlier on.
He bought it because he had a dream of what can I do with Triumph motorcycles.
Strong brand.
So in 1983 he bought Triumph motorcycles and it took him 8 years of spending money out of his building side before he was happy to take a bike to market, and in 91 we sold our very first bike. So it took 8 years to get something right, but he wanted the reliability, the robustness, he wanted it to be right. He couldn't go too soon and be substandard because he knew that,
Didn't he and his team go over to Japan and have a
they
look
were
at
always,
these,
you know, it was the business of curious as to
That's the best jersey.
you know,
the Jap bike's doing really well.
yeah, but it's always the business that you've always got to have your eye on the competition. When you're looking at something new, you want to kind of get your head around it.
And these engines powered the bomb doors on Avro Lancasters apparently, and perhaps with generator engines, but they used them for their bikes.
Probably to take the edge off his boot, so he could lean the bike over a bit more. But he used to have to put some rubber or felt over the top of it, stop his little toe getting cold.
It's nuts.
So what we've got here is, that's because the gear changed on the right hand side, and that's how the boots used to wear away, because they couldn't take the feet off the peg for the gear change.
Yeah, sure.
And when we talk about little,
Those were the days.
to do that.
But that
There you
shows
go.
how he was banking it over in them days to wear that like that.
Put the angle on that.
Doesn't it? Really. And with the
There you
tire
go.
technology of that time as well.
That was before the days of knee sliders and things.
Then John Bloor comes in and we said, let's go racing, John. And in 2004,
This place is this museum or showroom. It's taking you on a journey. It's taken on a journey from the beginnings of Triumph to where it is today, basically.
Well, these are two 2.3 litre rocket engines, D-stroke to 1500cc. So this ran in the under 3 litre class. Yeah. Okay. Liquid cooled engines, but we can't use liquid to cool them because of the draft on the through the rad. So the way that we cool them is we drop the belly pans off with dry ice. And that's what melted and kept the engine cool while you're running. The air intake here is purely for the turbos.
Yeah.
To do that. So we got up to 274 mile an hour. I personally don't think there'll be any more records made at Bonneville because the salt that's in that model there, that is salt from the Bonneville Salt Flats. That's how it should look. But it doesn't look like that. It looks like a dry riverbed. It's like riding on broken paving slabs. And you're getting so much vibration and that. So people who are trying to break the world record now are going to Bolivia. Okay? And there's a guy down in Essex called Alex, and he's making this streamline. It's nothing to do with Triumph, but hopefully, and I wish Alex well, next year he's trying to get the record back into Britain, and he's Streamliner is powered by a Lynx helicopter engine. And Guy Martin's down to ride that. So I know Alex is...
It's mad enough to do it as well, Guy Martin.
Yeah, he's got the right man for the job. Definitely the right man for the job.
What it is, do you know what I mean? The signature on the tank.
So that's the bike that Steve McQueen used in The Great Escape. Even though it wasn't Steve that did the jump in the film, it was Buddykin, his mate. And Steve McQueen and Buddykin were really good friends. And I think they actually competed in the ISDT, the 6 days ISDT trial together as well back in the 60s. That's the bike anyway. That's the bike you see in the film. So there you go. There you have it. Steve McQueen's bike that he used in The Great Escape.
We asked him if he raised any money. He said
These are the James Bond bikes, I do believe, were in the James Bond film.
in Shropshire. And for every 3
This is the bike that Daniel Craig rode in James Bond, and apparently Daniel dropped it and put a dent in the tank. So there you go. Suits you, Dave.
You could be a stunt double.
I could.
A whole day's filming for 3 seconds.
Or stunt double for the new one.
Yeah, the next James Bond in the making.
I'm not one of the chimpanzees that we
What do you think? Do you think David Bond's got a ring to it?
I'm thinking it works for it.
David Bond.
Suits, doesn't it?
Hello, name's Bond.
Yeah, David
Brooke
Bond.
Bond.
Martin Bond. Got lots of Bonds today.
Yeah.
License to be thrilled.
Anyone else?
Well, you're going to have to do it, guys.
No, I'm alright. I'm not going to get on there. No.
Just careful it doesn't topple.
Yeah, you're all right.
And we've got Colin Bond.
Sometimes you come off a bit wider.
Lord Colin Bond.
You've got to do it the right way.
Well, we've just had a... That's nice. We've just had a... This is nice as well. We've just had a wander around the factory. I wasn't allowed to film in the factory, which is a shame because it's opened my eyes. I sort of had ideas of what this was going to be like, and I've been proved wrong actually because we've got a line in there and producing bikes. That was me thinking it was all produced abroad. Bikes were produced abroad. But Vita, our guide, he's telling me that they want to bring back production of some other models as well that are made in places like Thailand. So that'll be interesting. Right, here we go. Is the design of the rocket.
This is what we show the senior management team and go, do you like it? And if you like it, we'll move it on to the P2 stage.
So this is like that white plastic one that we see downstairs.
Exactly.
Right.
So sometimes we'll 3D print. See, the problem
Come on,
with clay
David.
modelling...
That's the embryo of my Rocket 3R.
I'd say that this...
And that's 3D print, is it?
3D, that's a combination of 3D printing and clay modelling.
Or two of
Right,
this side.
okay.
You know what I mean? So you'll end up scanning it. But sometimes you need to look at aesthetics. Sometimes you can 3D print because it's a bit more energy or engineering based data. So that's your P1. This is your P2.
So that's a P1.
So this is the prototype rocket. And we haven't got an engine.
I know.
So we have
See, Lord David's in his element now.
shaft drive. So it moves. But this is when you're going through the bend, stretch, break phase.
Yeah.
This is where your energy and time goes into working out, do the handlebars go here, or, you know, everything's adjustable. But you're starting to rough it out.
Yeah.
You're starting to look at it as an engineering project, as opposed to an aesthetic project. So then, of course, with the rocket, you've got, like you were saying, you've got your stress member, the backbone.
Yeah.
This doesn't need to be quite so stressful, that's aluminium.
Yeah.
Keeps the weight down to do that. And of course, we make one part do more than one job. This is the air intake.
Yes.
A bit like we had with Lotus Cars and Colin Chapman, one part does more than one job to do that. And then, of course, like you were saying, there's your rocket pistons.
Now, that is what you call
Harley.
There's your
Harley pistons.
That's a 675 engine. The exhaust comes in 3 layers. And this is aquaform.
Yeah, it's
compressed water, because it won't crease then. And you feel that side, it's very flat, so you wouldn't be able to get that on a pipe bender.
Yeah. See, this is the thing that I think what sets the Rocket 3 out with a lot of other cruisers, if you don't mind. I think this is what sets out the Rocket 3 when you look at the £20,000 motorcycle. That footrest comes out like that and opens like that.
Yeah.
So if you're riding singly, and you don't want to show it, it just disappears. And I think that is
It's
just
good, isn't it?
outstanding
And
engineering.
when we say outstanding engineering, I use a slightly different phrase.
Yeah.
I use elegant engineering.
That's a good idea, elegant engineering.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's down to that elegant engineering.
Yeah, we got a new word, elegant engineering.
It's on display, looks like there's so much power coming down the side of the bike here. You get, if you like, torque steer, like a muscle car twists. The bike will veer off, but by offsetting the front wheel, you can now pull away in a straight line.
Gotcha. I always wanted
There you go, Lord David.
I
There
didn't
you
even
go.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got all this power coming down here. Okay.
Look at that.
So, but it's the stuff that's hidden away, you know, to make that bike look right.
Yeah.
There's the air intake that I mentioned to you earlier.
So that's the air intake there.
There's your air filters, and then into your throttle bodies.
So the air filter change is actually a tank off job then, I think, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, okay.
And then, of course, you look at it, and you know the TFC that was the launch
it's number 1.
which is
It's the tank one, actually.
it's number 1. Yeah.
Are we going to go and buy one, Colin?
This is.
We're going to go buy a rocket, a 2.5 litre Rocket 3. Yeah. How long would it take to empty the tank? Did he say 15 minutes on full whack?
Looking at that.
There you go.
It's a lot of space taken up with equipment, isn't it?
Yeah, if you put one of these on full whack, flat out, I reckon 15 minutes.
Anyway, you live in there. Yeah. But what I'm saying is, when we talk about the international 6-day trials bike.
I've just spotted my bike. I've just spotted this, the colour more than any. Now my 67 XLCH Sportster is that colour. Exactly that colour, more or less. And I'll show you that one at some point in another vlog.
So you'd already plugged in separate cables. You've got compressed air cylinder on the side to pump the tyre up with. And all
That's beautiful.
keep the weight down so you can pull it out of the ditch or whatever it was. So when you were talking about the international 6-day trials bike, Steve McQueen, you know, racing and stuff like that.
That is so similar in concept to my 67 XLCH.
A couple of dirt racers, and the bike on the end there Ernie Vigil, it's a stop bike, raced it 1,000 miles and to Mexico, like a bit of a Dakar type rally. Finishes it twisted. And he just thought he completely.
That's my favourite.
See how it went. It's wonderful. Yeah. So, a couple of years ago, we did our millionth bike, and this is it.
The millionth bike.
So, a great achievement for Triumph Motorcycles to go from one bike in 91 up to 1 million. Yes.
Wow.
So, there you go. So, we've kind of charted his history from 1901 with that very first pedal cycle bike with that Belgium engine attached to it, right up to funding and how we build bikes on the line. That's in okay for us.
Good. Another bit of.
So that's out the window.
This is for you to fill out, my friend.
What's this then, Lord David?
Well, in part of the package that my 3 lovely daughters bought
Yeah,
me,
bless them.
we
That's
can
really
you've got
kind,
a
isn't it?
VIN plate keyring order
Ooh.
included, but you don't actually have the VIN. You can have anything
Look what
you
I've got.
like.
Look what I've got. Lord David. That's my old Triumph logbook, and
Wow.
it says previous owner.
Yeah. Wow, look at that. So yeah.
Previous owner Hinckley Triumph.
Yeah.
So,
You can put something in each.
there you go. Yeah, that
And that's what that under
been put on the keyring. My old Triumph that I kept at the factory on a factory tour, 1996. So I think that's that'd be a nice sort of closure for it. Yeah, I definitely recommend a visit to the factory experience. Have a look around. They've got some lovely bikes, some old bikes, and it takes you from the original, early years of Triumph right the way through to modern day Triumphs. So, and John Bloor is what I have learned is a true enthusiast, and he pops in every few weeks into the factory. He's in his 80s, just to keep an eye on things, and his son, I think, is the CEO now. So, yeah. It's opened my eyes up. It's definitely opened my eyes up about Triumph motorcycles, the Bloor motorcycles, the Hinckley Triumphs. So, yeah, I'm really impressed, and the quality of the things. So, we're just getting ready now to go. Wind our weary way home. It's been a long day. I think we've been here around about 5.5 hours. So, yeah, I'm knackered, but really interesting visit, and I'd recommend it to anybody to come and have a look. Hope you'll have a good day out. You're welcome. Right then. We're on our way. Yeah, when we were having a wander around the factory, Peter, our guide, we were looking at the Triumph's race bikes. And of course Triumph supply the motors to MotoGP or Moto2, and he was saying that they're in cahoots with Petronas, and those race engines they supply will run on E80. Now we're talking synthetic fuels now, and it gives you a little bit of hope that we won't all be consigned to the electric vehicle route. You know, if they can design these fuels, if they can get these fuels made where, let's say if a Triumph race bike engine can run on E80 quite happily, you know, there's something to look forward to, really, isn't it? Yeah, we'll see, but I really didn't know that. I was quite amazed. So, There you go. Lotus. There's a Lotus factory. There we go. We're going to stop in Stow on the Wold. Ask Italian, and that's a good little restaurant. I've been in there. I went in there with Sarah a few years back. Nice little place that. Recommended. Right, let's see what's happening. Ah. Hey Martin, we could just go straight over the curb, can't we? Yeah. What? Straight over. Lord David parking the rocket. It's a hell of a thing, isn't it? It's about 25 foot long, isn't it?
I really enjoyed today.
Oh, good.
I would
It was
say
a success.
very big result.
Success.
Yeah, and thank you for coming along.
Well,
It's
thank
been
you
an
for inviting
absolute
me. It's,
bonus, really. It's really been great, thoroughly great,
Because-
and amazing to ride up the Fossway early hours
Yeah.
and not one car until right at the end.
And it wasn't raining either.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't raining. It's
That's a
beautiful.
bonus, double bonus.
Well, I would also like to thank Lord David of Glencoe for taking us on this invited trip today. Also to thank his daughters for getting that Christmas present so that you can invite us along.
Yeah, you're very lucky having daughters like that.
Yeah, they still cost me a fortune.
My daughter wouldn't do that for me. It's because I haven't got them. I've got two boys and they certainly wouldn't do that. There's Martin. So we're all having some cake and some coffee. And I think we'll call that, what do they say? A wrap. They call it a wrap. A wrap. Should we have a wrap? No, we'll have a wrap. Right. There you go, that's me.